buy a car, I lived, and it's
I'm sure you're the same with your kids.
I've seen guys who are like wild Broncos in Wyoming that have zero discipline, gunslingers. I'm like,
where do you see the next 10 years in trading?
Oh, I think we're gonna see an explosion.
Let's go.
To me, today I have a text, a person made 66 pips, which I showed you on the pound Canadian, right? Canada.
And
then
S&P as well.
9 handles on the S&Ps.
Yeah,
and
first, I just want to let everybody know there's the first word I learned from Steve. It's a handles. I never even knew. I mean, there's a points in S&P, and each point has 4 ticks. And there's a handle, it's a gold handle. And
it's funny because a couple of times people say, "Oh, I just made 4 ticks in the S&P." I'm like, that's one handle.
One handle, 1 point.
No,
yes.
no. I call like so for everybody who wants to know. So on the S&P futures, with the new product, even the micro.
We're going to talk about that. We're down.
Great, phenomenal product the CME came out with, and really happy to be working with them on that as well. But so if the price of the S&P futures, the E-mini futures, the electronic, trades from 28.50 down to 28.45, that's 5 handles. Right. So,
20 ticks.
Right. But see, I can't say ticks.
Okay, handles.
Handles.
Handles. You said a lot of things about the right, about not to break the rules and everything else. Besides that point with options, did you ever break the rules?
No, I have.
So it was only once back then.
No,
that's it.
my father beat it into me like, you better learn. Like, you know, it's like I teach my kids all the time, even when they were younger. Like, I remember when they were growing up, and I would be feeding baby food to my kids, and I would I would be talking to them, and my wife would say to me, "They're only a year old."
You have to learn.
I said, "I don't care," and I taught my kids as they went older, as they got older, so much wisdom, because my father instilled so much wisdom into me. And I would tell my children, it's okay to make a mistake. I'll accept, I'm sorry, but don't say you're sorry twice
just
to me
for
the same thing down the road. If you say you're sorry, I'll forgive you. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
But not second time.
No, that don't fly.
Second time, it's on purpose.
On purpose, or you know, now it's coming into I don't want to sound like I'm some crazy.
But you don't understand.
But yeah, it's like almost a form of disrespect now. You know, like, come on. You know, I taught you, I brought you into this world, I'm trying to help you, I'm giving you the right answers. But if you make a mistake, no problem. Dad, I mean, I love you, no problem, I accept your apology, boom. Don't do the same mistake a week or a month later, because then now it's not gonna fly. So the same concept, right? If you're trading and you make a mistake, okay, you learn from it. It's fine. We all make, nobody's perfect, right? But don't make that same mistake. Like if you're buying and you know you stop in Netflix is, I'm just making this up, 350, don't give it to 349 and then 348 and then 347. Oh, it's gonna bounce, I'll buy more. No, either 350 was it and that's it, and then
you forget about it.
Right, and then go on to the next trade, right? And so that's what I really hard on with people though. Listen, every trade that I do or put in, there's always a stop, a mathematical stop.
Physical stop.
Yeah, you have to adhere to it. Because what happens if news comes out? Unprecedented. And
it happens a lot of times.
A tweet, a news event, story, anything.
China, Trump, and everything else.
Whatever. And boom, boom. Okay, next. Right? It happens. Can't control it. This is I always say, I use a lot of baseball terminology. This is the major leagues. So you got to learn that.
Either you play or you're out.
Right. Or go to single leg ball.
Going back 36 years, when do you think it hit you? Like, boom.
Well, that's a great question. When did it hit me? I would think the first week back in 1991 when I traded for Joe, it hit me that I can do this. Yeah, that I can do this in a very big way. But I was disciplined because I gave it a week, another week, But then it snowballed. I said, I could do this. I could do this. This I love. And don't forget, if I made the $100 by 11:30, I stopped. That's, you know, I didn't keep going till 4.
You're absolutely right. You know, when you tell people, because the people are crazy when you say, listen, you had a plan for the day, you made it, you're out. Same as the loss.
No, but I didn't go, like, I didn't leave.
You know, I always, I'll tell you the story. When I used to work at WorldCom, I was a excellent trader. Just for you to understand. In 4 years, I had 9 losing days. In 4 years. 1,000 trading days, I had 9 losing days. In 4 years. So I remember the day, I think it's 2001, you know, my limit loss was, I think, $5,000 per day. So I lost $5,000. And we had an automatic risk management, which was excellent. Because, you know, you don't have to worry about yourself, you have a system. System stops you, that's it. I remember my boss told me one thing, you know, I could never control how much you're going to make, but I always going to control how much you're going to lose, because if you lose my money.
Right.
Exactly. So I remember I lost $5,000, and like today, I remember we had a risk manager, Al Guido, Marine, U.S. Marine, big motherfucker, you know, huge fucking guy, the muscles like this. And I said, Al, you know, I just lost $5,000. I mean, I'm up $600,000 for the months. You know, my best month, my best day was $630,000 one day. So I said, I'm up like $600,000 for months. You know, you don't have to worry about it. He told me one thing, Alex, I don't know anything about the market. I'm just a risk manager. Walter told me your risk per day is $5,000. Go back home, it's another day. I said, listen, just open for a little for $300. He said, listen, you got used to take large position. Well, what are you going to do? You're never going to be able to lose $300. If you take position of 3,000 shares, 10 cents, exactly, and you're out. And when you tell this to the people, they don't understand. They think, you know, my boss told me one thing, the worst part, you're going to lose your chance. And that's it. Once and for all.
So that's really a great story, because I knew that opportunity that Joe gave me, that was my only shot. That was my only shot. And I had to be so disciplined that I could not break that mentality. I made that 100, I went to 200, I went to 300. No matter what I did, I stopped. And
when you started already trading, you already thought the word communicated about the market.
No.
No. Oh my God.
No.
Don't talk about the business.
No, it's a great story.
But did he ask you, like, you know,
no,
Stevie, how you doing?
No.
No.
I will tell you that my father, it's a great story. I mean, I'm so blessed to have, I never, ever came home at 5:30. Actually, one day I was riding, I love my father so much that I actually rode the smoking car with him, and I would be like this on the car, and I couldn't take it. We took the 4:45 train, and then he said to me one day, what are you doing? I said, what? And back and forth. He says, finally, get off this blanking train. I want you to go back downtown. I want you to go out. I don't want to see you home till 11 o'clock every single night.
Enjoy.
I want you to meet 3 new people every single day. I'm like, oh my God, this man's insane. I'm exhausted, right? And I did, and I didn't, and of course, I listened to him. But my father, it's a great question, because he never talked to me about my trading. He knew the reputation I had in the industry.
That you were doing well.
Yeah, they knew I was like, you know, I was very, very
superstar.
Well, I don't know. Well, but he called. I came home one day and the phone rang, and Alex, I never came home at 5:30. I picked up the phone. He says, "Even Daddy." I go, "What are you doing home?" I go, "Oh, I'm home." He says, "Well, let's have dinner." So I met with him a beautiful August day. I swear to God, it's a true story. And we were sitting in this booth. The sun was piercing in. He was with his wife, and he said, "I want to tell you." He said, "Thank you." No, he says to me, "I'm very proud of you." Yeah, and he said, I said, "Thank you very much." And he said, "Thank you for never letting me repeat myself to you, and never tarnish our last name."
Yeah, with tears in your eyes.
Yeah, well, it's everything, you know. So, but no.
So you never talk about the market?
Never, Never talked about the money.
But obviously he probably saw a nice car, house, and everything else.
No,
So he figured.
I lived in a one-bedroom apartment. I drove a Honda Pilot. I was always under the radar. I mean, like, people wanted to interview me, put me on television. I'm like, no.
No, I know at one point you were in CNBC. They called
later
you
on.
Fox News every year.
Later on, as I'm building Tocker up, and no, I just wanted. There was an old saying. I have ADD times 6,000, right? So I never read the newspaper. One day I bought, I think it was the News or the Post or something like that. And I swear, the craziest things have happened to me in my life, right? I open up the paper and I see something. I don't know. It must have been like a horoscope or something like that. And I just read it, and it said, "The great victories in life are often won in a quiet way." I said,
It's me.
"That's me.
It's me.
That's me.
What's your astrology sign?
I'm Aquarius.
What month?
February
is that?
10th.
Oh, like my father.
Your father's February?
Yeah, February 20th.
Oh.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay.
As far as I understand, your losses, they were never comparable to the wins. You know,
I wouldn't be here if that was the case. You know, yeah. I believed in consistency, and that's what really put me to excel. But I got to tell you, it was remarkable that I never ever looked back. Like, I never counted like how much money I made or what I did. I just kept on going like a machine, and that was, to me, was the most important. Every single day, just constantly moving forward.
Then I have a few questions also. It's from our audience as well. I'll keep
Sure.
them to the end, and then we'll go to the
Ticker-tocker.
great thing that
Sure.
you developed. Basically, you know, it's such a big surprise. That's when we talked downstairs for 5 minutes. You said one thing: we're alike.
Oh my God!
It's amazing.
I
Honestly.
could hang out with you
No,
forever.
seriously, we're gonna go out definitely. And the most amazing part that's, you know, I honestly, you know, I cannot say you like me because you are much longer in the business, made much more money, and better and older and everything else. But I like you 100%. I'm the same. But in that case, I had an issue. The issue is I never had a large balls. That's the issue, you know. Because I made a lot of money so fast. I came in the United States in 1993, and in 2000 I already made over $2 million in trading, and I was 1 year only in trading, and I was so scared that this can go away. So my question is to you, and the other people who's going to listen to you: how did you best buy this? Because, you know, I mean, to trade large capital, to trade large amount of money and everything else, you gotta have a large balls.
You know, there's an old saying, when you think, you stink, right? And I never thought about it. I just reacted. I always believed in having the pedal down. And I believed that if you did have a losing trade, I think there was such a competitiveness inside of me.
But my question is like that. For example, once I was at the office in a big trader, and he has a very large account, trade over $1 billion, I think 1.2 or 1.3. So I saw the loss of like 10 or 11 million dollars.
In a day.
Yeah, which is compared to, let's say, 1.2 billion dollars. It was not a big deal. You know, it was 1%, which is just a fluctuation. But, you know, I got all like sweat, you know, and wet and everything else. I'm sweating. And I said, listen,
Just
you know,
a number.
it's just a number. So my question is, how did you get to the just a number? For example, don't forget, if you increase in the size by double, your losses, of course, are doubling as well.
Sure.
So I passed that. How did you pass it by?
I think that as every day went on and I got my sheets, and remember, I really didn't really know. I mean, I had an idea. I really didn't have a set number what I made at the end of the day. And when I walked in at 6:30 in the morning the next day is when I really saw the numbers. But I had a feel of what because I was trading so many positions at any given time. But I think that, you know, that comes with experience. But even today, when I teach people who are trading or people who are experienced, I tell them that the same thing. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like
your father told you.
Yeah, exactly. Like now that the micros are coming out, which is a phenomenal instrument created by the CME, and I say start with that. But then I have others who may be trading the S&Ps, and I'll say, look at the Eurostoxx 50 futures, look at the Bund, trade a financial, you know, look at gold, You know, maybe do 2 or 3 tops. Why? Why is that? Because sometimes the S&Ps, if you're having a bad day in it, you'll be okay in the, you know, Euro Stocks 50 futures, or you'll be okay in gold, or maybe oil. So as people get more and more confident in their trading abilities, as I'm teaching them, they do start branching out. Like this one gentleman started off trading foreign exchange, and today I showed you he made 9 plus 3, 12 handles on the S&Ps, because he went into the S&Ps now. I think it comes with, depending on the age and where you are in your life, and I think that also has a lot to do with, you know, how much more you're going to speed it up to a degree. Once you start being consistent every single day and the confidence starts growing, I think then you go, it just
bigger
escalates.
Numbers.
Well, you know, bigger to what degree? I mean, are they eventually going to get to 100 lot where every handle is $5,000 on a move? And, well, they could. You know, do people start trading 1 contract, or then maybe get to 2 and then graduate? Yeah, it's like anything else. It's like when we were children, before we took our first step, we took 1 step and we held on, then another step, and then we finally were able to walk 5 steps, and then 10 steps, and then finally into your mother or father's arms, right? You graduate, you start moving up. That's what trading is about, especially with the novice traders, or the people who are started really, that I'm really trying to mold and breaking bad habits and taking them into my mindset, into my way of thinking.
Your favorite pattern?
My favorite what?
Pattern. Pattern.
Yeah.
Your favorite pattern?
Pattern? Oh, is, well, for intraday trading, is when the predictive analytics,
but it just
correlations
for everybody to understand, because the analytics, it's you.
Yeah.
It's all your mind is there.
Well, it's built in front of me.
That's what I'm saying.
The two, there's nothing that drives me more crazy is when all the patterns, all the correlations line up between the continuous contract on the futures and the underlying ETF, or the underlying ETF lines up with the futures contract. Oh my God, that's like, you know, that's one of my that's the favorite.
So it's
pattern.
it's not just a technical pattern.
It's
a combination of all.
When everything lines up, it's like, so we're swimming with the tide, not against the tide.
Right.
And then when anytime I get a move, probably after 11:30, 12 o'clock every single day, where I get a buy reversal on the 15-minute time frame that correlates with the 5-minute. Oof,
But most of the time, when you trade, you like correlation or discorrelate? Because for me, I don't like when it's correlate. I like when it lives its own life. So if I see something goes against the floor, like for example, last few days, British pound is just getting destroyed, while the euro is standing still, which shows that basically this is not the weakness of the dollar. It shows that it's a weakness of the British pound.
Right.
And for me, it's a very good thing, because I don't like the correlation. I'm vice versa.
See, I like the way I wrote the analytics is that when they correlate, the probabilities are in the favor of the price direction. So that's what I want. I want to be on the right side of the market. I want to be able not to guess. I want analytics to tell me where I think the markets are going, and that to me is, so let me ask you a question. So if I said, come on Alex, we're hopping on a plane, we're going to go to Vegas, and whatever.
I already said yes.
Okay, we're going. And then I say, Alex, this table on blackjack is 0 for 3. This table is 1 for 3. That means 1 out of 3 times we'll win. But this table has a higher percentage, 2 for 3, maybe even 3 for 3. You're going to look at me and say, Steve, it's a no-brainer, let's go here.
Of course.
Of course. So I want the odds in my favor, and I think that's where...
It gives you more odds.
Well, it gives you the confidence, it gives you the ability to see it, and then to trade it, and now understand the pattern. So why would I play with my money a table that's 0 for 3 or 1 for 3?
Agree.
So I want the odds in my favor.
It's a combination of all.
Right, it's a combination, but you also, like I keep saying, that I always want to be on the right side of the market. So when I get out of here, I'm not going to go against the traffic and have a head-on accident. I want to go with the traffic, right? I want to go make the right...
I understand. If the market goes down, you know, you're going to try to short everything.
Well, if everything lines up, I'm shorting them. Then the analytics, everything's correlating to sells.
How much you sleep?
Oh, I sleep about 4 to 6 hours. I get sometimes I'm in I'm in bed by 10, 11 o'clock at night.
But still, 4 hours is enough for you?
Yeah, I mean, but then probably on the 6th, 7th, or 8th day, I just crash, boom, and I'll sleep like 10 or 12 hours. But yeah, I mean, I have such a passion and adrenaline for this industry. One of the things, I have no regrets in my life, but I do wish I was like 10 years younger, because I want that extra 10 years more to really help people and teach them. And that's why I built Tocker too. And that's,
yeah, it looks like you have a high testosterone level.
Well, I mean, like,
in a good way.
Yeah, I just lost 40-something pounds too.
Wow.
And, yeah, I feel great. That also has energized me a lot. But no, I think that there really, I got to tell you, I mean, when you look back and you say how blessed you've been in this world, and in many ways, yeah. I return everybody's phone call. I talk to everybody. My phone blows up. I don't not just talk to somebody. I always answer. I go, hello, who's this? And this is so and so from South Africa. This is so and so from California. I'm like, hi, because I'm very transparent in everything I do. And I'll spend 15 minutes on the phone with them, and I'll invite them to a one-on-one session, and I'll just start teaching them. And it's funny, the 15 or 20 minutes goes into maybe 40 minutes or something like that. But it's really unique. It's a great feeling.
So, but the beautiful part is, you're really enjoying it.
I love it. I love it.
Do you get a few free sessions?
Was that? Yeah, I get it. Absolutely.
Excellent. In Connecticut.
Yeah, you got to come up there, or I go to.
Let's talk about the education and teaching.
I love it. I love it.
When did you start?
So a good friend of mine ran about a $1 billion hedge fund, and said to me, Stevie, there's a firm that does really big volume, but I don't think people are really learning. And you have a gift. You have great technology.
Look in the movie. You got a gift, my friend. You.
Says to me, you have such a great approach. I didn't really think of it at the time. And then he made me think. I built all these great things. And I listened to Vinny. And he was driving to North Carolina, actually, when he called me and told me he was at an event. And he said, I can't believe all these people are dying to learn to trade. And you have a gift. You should do something. And that's when we decided to build the platform Tocker. And really, it's very special to me.
Okay, Tocker, we'll leave it to the end.
Okay.
Where do you see the next 10 years in trading?
Oh, I think we're going to see an explosion. I think you're going to see an explosion. I think the 5 biggest words for the next 10 years is content, predictive analytics, AI, optimization, and education. I think you're going to see an explosion in the futures markets, especially with the micro. I think you're going to see an explosion in the options markets. I think you're going to see an explosion in the forex markets, and then the equity markets as well. So it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. But I think that more and more people, students, millennials, anyone, really is starting to wants to learn how to trade now. They're not fearful of it.
Right.
They used to be fearful of it. And I tried to morph them into the psychology of, don't be fearful. You could do this. I wasn't born to do this. I went through a process. But if I could speed that process, or you can, to help them become great traders, and give them the technology and the confidence, you can do this, And that's what I instill in people. So, but I think you're going to see an explosion. I think more and more, and kudos to all the different exchanges and like the CME for coming out with a product that gave the average person the ability to trade the micro.
Let's talk about it. Trading mini macro.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a great product.
And you don't need a lot of money.
It's 1/10 of the contract, and I was talking to a young man yesterday in Arizona. He was doing 10 contracts, 10 or 15 or 10 or 16 contracts. He's buying 2, and it goes with the S&Ps, but it's 1/10 of the price.
Yeah. So S&P about 100,000. This is about $10,000 per contract.
Well, with the micro, I mean, today, I mean, believe it or not, margin for intraday has gone down to $500 a contract, $1,000 for crude, but the micro was, I think, a way of getting people off simulators. You know, to start saying, hey,
so it's a product. Yes, you don't do demo. Here's the cheap chance for you to start
to
trading.
learn with real money. That you're going
course.
to test yourself with real money versus
So
a
it's
simulator.
if tick is $12.50, so it's $1.25 per tick, which is not a big deal. Yeah, $5 risk. Yeah,
Right.
it's very good.
I think it's ingenious. I think it's going to be a product that eventually, on any given day, the S&P futures do what, 1.8 to 2 million contracts a day. I think the micros will do
Probably
15.
10, 15.
I think they'll do 20, 30, 40 million contracts one day. That's how big I think this is.
That's a mirror to the S&P.
To the electronic contract.
And the end of it, in order not to give you a hard time any longer, because you have to have a time to talk. Let's talk about your product. It's a Tocker Live and Tocker platform.
So Tocker
when you start to develop
3 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a journey, and the idea was we had all these different components, and met a firm that we're partnered up with, and the vision was, well, I'm not a marketer, right? I mean, it's not what I do. I'm not a salesperson. I speak from the heart. You know, I speak the truth, but I saw a significant inefficiency in the marketplace, and my partner and I knew we had so many different products, and because they were used for internal, and so basically we decided to build Tocker, web-based with a mobile application marketplace platform that brought the top leaders in the country, or hopefully the world soon, as we're getting registered in various different countries, to an audience of novice traders, retail traders, professional retail traders, to give them a marketplace where they can go, talk to people like me, see the different things that I'm doing, whether it's trade ideas. I hold a big live room all day long from 8 to 4, nonstop, 8 hours a day, to people trading FX, people who trade options, people who do verified trades, people who have automated strategies. I have teams of quant teams that just put their signals in or their alerts, and people match up their accounts to the algorithm, and they just buy and sell. And then we have a product that really is significant. We have a patent on where you can build and write strategies without using any lines of code, and you can execute. You can manually trade, or you can auto trade. And then the last chapter is
pattern recognition.
Was that?
Pattern recognition.
Well, they can write their own. They can write whatever they want.
How?
By building blocks, and then they can optimize it, and then they can automate it or plug it into one of their accounts through one of our APIs that we're affiliated with, our member firms. And then the last part is the education channel. So for me, for example, I'll be doing verified trades. I do trade ideas. I hold a live room all day long, live room, chat room, and I'm educating, I'm teaching, and I can't wait because in the next couple of weeks we'll be putting out Tocker Live, which is a live stream that we're really super excited about, and you can look at things on demand. And during that day, I'm calling out market direction, trades in futures, equities, ETFs, foreign exchange, commodities. And with my little finger, I have the ability to press different buttons. I have 2 producers behind me, and it's a real show with a whole menu of events, and not just people talking. It's real trading, teaching. So if I see something in the S&Ps, I press a button, the E-minis come up, and I can show it why I call this, why this is happening, and people are seeing it. Even if I think something's going to happen before it happens, I'll say, hey, if the S&Ps take out 2835 here, we're going up. And if the 30-minute takes this number out, and the hourly, we're going up, and we're buying every pullback from now until the close, right? So it's really something I'm really looking forward to, because it's nothing. I literally, I have to tell you, like, I feel like somebody once said to me, like, what's the worst part of your day? I said, leaving my office. I just love it that much. Like you're
a junk in a good way.
Yeah, like I live in my cocoon. You know, it's my cocoon. Matter of fact, I think it was 1997 and 1998, a company wanted to do a story on me, and they said, "What's the hardest part of your day?" I said, "Getting in my car and leaving." They said, "Why are you being like that?" I said, "So my friend who was he says, no, he's being truthful. He falls asleep behind the wheel of the car, and I have to watch him." So every car I had a sunroof, because I would make the wind always blow on my face, and then
not to sleep.
Yeah, and then they said, "Can I ask one more question?" This is your last question. He says, "What's the easiest part of it?" I said, "Trading. I love it. I loved it that much." I mean, literally. I mean, like, I don't know. And now I'm the passion, and I spread to others. You know,
that's very nice. I'm
many me's out there.
I'm interested in myself, you know, to learn from the person like you, to see what do you do, because the beautiful part is we have lots of in common of understanding the market. You understand? I just need those extra 16 years of experience.
No problem,
from you,
my friend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A few questions, like advice from the people they just begin. First of all, the good part is right under our interview. Basically, it's going to be Mark. It's going to be Tocker, and so people are going to be able to come and see.
Sure, thank you.
Especially, you know, we're not going to talk about the price, but the price is very affordable. It's very affordable.
So my live stream is $20 a month, less than $1 a day, and
you can even buy coffee.
My Tocker platform, you come on. Everything's a week or a 2-week free trial, and then on Tocker, you come on for 2 weeks for free.
Amazing.
And if you get my live room for free, which is less than $4 a day, and then you can have access to the whole platform.
It's amazing.
I wanted to make it where, you know, people would say, well, why are you doing this like that? Like,
it's definitely not money.
It's the love, and because we feel we're going to get a platform that is going to be a household name. So I'm not a broker dealer. I don't look at commissions. Right, and so basically what we're doing is we're a research technology company. So that to me is, like, you know,
new step.
Next step, yeah. So Tocker Live, I'm really super excited. I have 2 great producers, a great team, a great production, and I think this is gonna be a disruptor. This is real off the charts.
What would you suggest from the people, for the people who is just the beginners?
Take
1, 2, 3, 4.
Take a deep breath. If you want to learn. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's my favorite saying. Learn. If you want someone like me, I'm more than happy to. Just ask questions, learn. Try on a simulator before you put real money up. And just constantly watch and learn. You know, this brings me up, when I was growing up, we really didn't have any money or anything like that, and I loved the game of baseball so much. And I had a 13-inch black and white television, and I loved baseball. Like, I could watch it 20 hours a day. And the team back then was the Cincinnati Reds, the big red machine. Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Joe Morgan, and Dave Concepcion, and George Foster, and you name it. What a team. And I would just glue to this television, as close as my nose can be. And I didn't have money for a baseball coach. I didn't have money for anything. I had to even borrow a bat when I used to get into the batter's box. And I would watch on TV every time their hands or every time their foot.
Oh, they move.
Right. I analyzed every movement. And I think that if anybody's coming into the game now, I think that taking someone who can mentor them, right, like you, me, and whoever they want, right, to learn and give them the technology, to teach them. And I'll tell you, I mean, I know some very big guys in the industry. I talk to them the same way as I talk. There's no difference to me. I talk to a kid from St. John's the same way as I talk to a guy who's a billionaire or who's ever, you know, it doesn't make a difference to me, right? But for a novice person who's just starting out, don't rush it. Learn. Take a step back. 1 step forward, don't take 2 steps back. 1 step forward, keep taking that step. Don't
even
keep
slow, but take.
Right, right. It's a journey, not a sprint, and that would be my advice to them. And learn, because it will come. People who have doubted me have said to me, you know, when I first talked to you, I didn't know, but you were right. It's a journey, right? So take the journey, learn with the journey. Now you may not be able to do this 8 hours a day, but you could just time in a day to take a half hour here, an hour here. It's up to the individual. How bad do you want it, right? I wanted it bad, right? Like I still want it bad. Like people say, like, you haven't lost your vigor, like,
Appetite.
Your appetite. I said, I'm like a lion in the Serengeti who hasn't eaten in a month. Are you kidding me? I'm ferocious, you know? So I just tell people, I'll get young kids, Mr. Kalayjian, you know, I'm just starting out, I got $500. I'm like, good, save the $500. Let's learn. Don't do anything.
First, that's right.
Right, learn. Let me teach you, right? Let me teach you. And then you go to a simulator, and then you practice on that. Make sure you learn how to use.
And then you start with something like a trading mini micro, you know, small ones.
Right. You know, watch my patterns. Watch the live stream. Watch when I populate a chart or something, because you can't be sitting in front of a desktop all day long. Why? That's why I created Tocker Live, so people can see all day long the things that I'm saying, and I'm popping charts up, and I'm drawing, and I'm explaining where I think the move is going to be, or why this move I think is going to happen based upon analytics that are about to, you know, happen. So I think that I would just tell anybody, it's a journey. Take it slow. Rome wasn't built in a day, and never, again, going back to the person who taught me, no question is ever stupid. Just keep asking.
I'll ask you right now, idiotic question. No, it's an idiotic question, because a lot of time people asking this question, but there is no answer. So it's going to be idiotic because, you know, everybody knows the answer, but nobody can do it. I mean, you know, the statistics unfortunately is very bad, and 95% of the people, they're losing money in the market. And they're losing money in the market for one simple reason, because the lack of the discipline. They just don't have a discipline. So the stupid question, idiotic question is, what do you think? Is there anything or any way that the normal human being, which has a lack of discipline, can train it in any possible way? Or did you see anyone in your career which the people who were not disciplined become one? And what would it take?
So that's a really great question. I mean, being in the industry for 36 years like I've been, if you think I haven't seen it all, you're kidding me, right? I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen guys who are like wild Broncos in Wyoming that have zero discipline, gunslingers. I'm like,
a lot of things is going to be very hard to translate in Russian, you know.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
So I'm just kidding, but you know, I mean, it's a very nice slang. I love it.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know what? The thing is that I'll say them very quickly. It's my way or the highway. You want to learn? I'm going to break you. You want to learn? I'm going to teach you. Right? You start going off a different path, I'm the wrong guy for you.
My way or a highway.
That's it. That's it.
I'm sure you're the same with your kids.
Oh my God.
I can see it.
Oh my God, yes.
You're a tough motherfucker.
My daughter is, yes. I mean, my daughter's playing Division I soccer, and my son is a pitcher at a community college, and hopefully, God willing, his dream is to play Division I baseball as a pitcher. So they have the same work ethic, and they learn, you know. And you know, I say this is the big, you know, this is every day you got to better your life.
But you don't give them a break.
No.
I figured that. Listen, to say thank you for the interview,
no.
It's not to say anything. It's honestly, I mean, I just had like a portion of my favorite drug, which is chocolate. The beautiful part is that, you know, I definitely gonna look to a TikToker myself, you know, once per reason. It's an exceptional idea. Second thing, it's a great step for the people, you know, who tried, because we have a lot of audience from all the different countries, you know.
Sure.
And lots of people, you know, they look for somebody like you and like me. You know, I'm a little different. You have a much more experience, longer, and everything else. But what you offer is very nice. So me myself, I'm interested just to look at it, because, you know, it's like to watch your favorite movies. That's what it is. Trading, charts, and everything else. And you are participating, you know. You know what they're saying in the industry. Watching the stock is like watching a porno. If you're not participating, it's no fun. So, you know, when you're in the ticker-tacker room, you know, you can really participate in that.
Yeah, you know, with Ticker-Tacker Live, we're gonna have segments where people from all around the world will ask questions, or, you know, I'm gonna probably do that a couple times a day, you know, blocks of 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna start taking questions now from everybody. You do get questions all day long, and my guys do the best they can, but pick really good questions and this is a real live production. This is
with a trader of 36 years of experience.
Yeah, you know, and
I have one question I'm afraid to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Because I know the answer.
Where are we going to lead? Where are we going to lead after this?
I know the answer.
What?
Do you have any hobby?
Huh. Well, as I'm getting
besides
older,
trading, of course.
Well, I mean, I love watching my kids when they play their sports.
It's different. Family is beyond. Yes. Hobby, it's something.
I used to like playing softball. I don't do that no more. I do exercise.
How you lost 40 pounds?
Oh my God, I was 250 pounds. Like
how many?
250.
I was 248 in 2001.
29 weeks ago, I got it down to a science.
6 months.
Yeah, a good friend of mine I was in Florida, and I was at the Palm Beach airport, and I have arthritis in my left knee, and the pain was so excruciating I couldn't bear it no more. I wanted to get a saw and chop my knee off, and I have a high tolerance for pain. I got hit by a car, I lived, and you know, I mean, I survived that, and so getting hit by a car didn't even come close to this pain I was getting. And the 3-hour flight home, I was in agony in row 1. When I got my bags, I said, that's it, I'm going to change my life. And the person, good friend of mine, said, you got to go on the keto. But not just keto alone. I said, what? You got to do the intermittent fast with it. So
that's what I do.
I said, that's it. I picked 3 to 9. I limited bread, pasta, starches, carbs, sugar, out, done.
Listen, you have to have something bad in your life. What it is?
What it is? I don't know.
I mean, you have to have something. You know, some people smoke cigars. Some people.
Once in a blue moon, I like sipping my Johnny Walker Black.
Whiskey.
That's Scotch. I love my Scotch. I love my Scotch. But I don't drink and drive, and I sit at when I know I'm not going somewhere. Like when I'm at dinners in the city, I preferably drink water. You know.
But you see the beautiful part about you, which is not that many people in this industry, that you're a people person. It's very important. People. It's very important because, you know, being 36 years in trading and you've seen so many stories and everything else, still love people. I mean, it's amazing, honestly. You know, I know a lot of guys in the industry as well, you know, and all of those people, when you start saying trading, oh no, I don't want to talk about.
I know this sounds. I know this sounds crazy, and my phone blows up. Really, I return everybody's phone call, email, or text. I don't believe in not responding to somebody. I don't have an ego. I feel very humbled and blessed every single day. So why am I going to act like some pompous you know what? That's not who I am. I believe in not only am I representing my company, right? All the good employees that I have and who make this vision and dream come true. But if I'm the face of the platform, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to some. Somebody's reaching out to me.
I figured out you were the same 5 years ago and before the Ticker-Tacker.
Even then.
That's what I'm saying. It's very important thing.
I mean, you know,
the situation did not change. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, my father once said to me, when you reach a certain age in your life, you're never going to change. So when I said, Dad, what's that age? He was 25. When you're 25 years old and one day, you're never going to, this is who you are.
And don't forget where you're coming from.
I never did. Never did. Never.
It was a real pleasure.
Thank you.
It was a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking forward for Ticker-Tacker. You don't have to break my hands with Steeler Traders. I'm going to come to Connecticut. And beyond thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know you don't do interviews, but thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Guys,
thank you.
We just had a phenomenal guest. And we're all going to enjoy it. And the most important thing, you can come to the Ticker-Tacker Live or Ticker-Tacker platform, really explode. You know, such a great person like Steven. And the most important thing, learn from it. That's the most important thing, because you should understand one thing. The money will not buy you happiness, but the money will buy you the education. And especially with the prices like Steven mentioned, it's less than $1 a day. It really is. So enjoy it. Watch our interview. The most important thing, Tocker is there for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.